I'd like to wish everybody a happy Lag BaOmer. At the same time, we have to mention this terrible tragedy that took place in Meron last night in Israel with the overcrowding and the stampede. The details are just horrific, so we daven for the victims, those who are in need of a refuah shlema, and what it means, who knows, but Hashem should watch over us. Mentioning Lag BaOmer, so we have in the Parsha in Emor the mitzvah of counting the Omer. And the Sefer Chinuch, it's a very famous Sefer Chinuch, he says, what is this counting all about? We start on the second night of Pesach, one night of the Omer, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 49 complete days, and that brings us to Shavuos. So the Chinuch says, because we're anticipating and we're excited, looking forward to Kabbalas Torah, receiving the Torah, and when somebody looks forward to something, one counts in order to arrive at the destination. So the question is, it's a famous question as well, that normally when we look forward to an event, whether it's a wedding, a milestone, a vacation, whatever it is, we count down. There's 6 weeks to go, there's a month to go, 2 weeks to go, a week, etc. But we don't count up. And here it's the opposite. If we were really looking forward to Matan Torah, we would say there's 49 days. It's a long time, but now we're already getting closer. 17 days left, 16 days left, and that builds the excitement. But yet, we count in ascending order. So perhaps, to say an explanation, we can refer to the Gemara. The Gemara tells us that there was a machlokas, a difference of opinion, on when to count the Omer from. Because the Pasuk says, Mimocharas HaShabbos, that we count on the day after Shabbos. Now, we have the tradition, based on Torah Shebaal Peh, from the Prushim, the Pharisees, that means we count from the day after Yontif. Let's say Yontif, the second night of Pesach, we count. The Sadducees, who didn't accept the oral tradition, the Tzedukim, they said it means you count after Shabbos. So in other words, Shavuos always fell out on a Sunday. And they actually rationalized their interpretation because Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to give us a 2-day weekend. We would have Shabbos and then we would have Shavuos, 2 days off in a row. And that was their approach. Obviously, we follow what the Prushim said. Torah Shebaal Peh tells us that it's really from the second night of Pesach. But what's the difference between the two opinions? According to the Pharisees, the Prushim, we have to connect Pesach to Shavuos. We can't look at Pesach as an event unto itself, just the release from slavery. And that's all that matters, because freedom is a value unto itself without any goal at the end. We understand that Hashem took us out from being slaves to Paro so we could serve Him. We're servants to Hashem, and that was our redemption. That was the elevation. So we say that Pesach has to be connected to Shavuos. Otherwise, freedom and a release from slavery, as great as it is not to have to answer to anybody, so to speak, but it's empty. What do we do now? But if we connect it to Shavuos, then we understand it's to serve Hashem. When it came to the Sadducees, the Tzedukim, they looked at it as something cultural per se, that we were released from slavery. That's one event. Another event, we received the Torah. It's not connected to why we were taken out of the house of bondage. It was just to receive the Torah. So the Torah is nice. When I want to observe it, I do. When I don't, I choose not to. It's there. It's a gift. I don't have to play. I don't have to enjoy the gift every day. But if you connect the two, Pesach to Shavuos, then it's obligatory. And we understand it's the whole purpose of our existence. And that's perhaps the difference in the counting. Counting down would mean that we don't see the connection to Pesach. Counting up, we realize it started at Pesach and we're really undergoing a transformation. And we'll never forget the purpose of Yetzias Mitzrayim, which is to serve Hashem, and that is in Kabbalas Torah. So perhaps this answers the famous chinuch, why we count up. Either way, everyone should enjoy Lag BaOmer and of course Shabbos, and stay well.